Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. When you face setbacks in life, don't get discouraged. Don't give up. Never give up. The Israelites did, and it delayed their entrance into the promised land. Numbers 14:2-4 says, "All the Israelites grumbled against Moses. If only we had died in Egypt. We should choose a leader and go back to Egypt." They abandoned their dream. They had been set free after 400 years of slavery, but wanted to go back because they were being delayed. Some people, like the Israelites, would rather live in slavery than confront the agony of freedom. They are unwilling to persevere and work on the problem until it is resolved. They want to give up. They are content with mediocrity in life. Don't settle for less than God's best for your life. Take the tunnel if it means going through a tunnel of conflict. Take the tunnel. It will be dark in the middle of the tunnel, and you will want to run back to the light. But you must persevere until you come out into the light on the other side. Instead of giving up, be persistent and pray. Galatians 6:9 says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." This is the law of the harvest. There is always a time delay between sowing and reaping. You plant one season and harvest the next. God wants to see if you intend to continue cultivating, planting, and sowing. If He sees constancy in your life, the harvest will follow. But it won't happen right away, because then there would be no room for your character to grow or your faith to mature. Luke 18:1 tells us that we must always pray and never lose heart. In life, you have two choices: pray continuously or give up. You'll always do one or the other. You will not be discouraged if you pray continuously. You will lose heart if you do not pray continuously. You will be discouraged by your troubles, whether they are at work, school, or in your family. To stay encouraged, you have to continue to pray. What does it mean to always pray or continuously pray? How is that even possible to do that? What lesson have you learned during a time of delay in your life? How can you apply that knowledge to the pursuit of your dream? How has God demonstrated His faithfulness to you in the past? When you begin to doubt His commitment during the delay, remember those experiences. We tend to forget things when our dreams are delayed. We forget what God has done in our lives and His past goodness. We lose sight of the fact that God is with us. We forget God's power, which He uses to make our dreams come true. In the wilderness, the Israelites made the same mistake. They forgot the many times God showed them His love, and they rebelled against the Almighty at the Red Sea. But He saved them as He had promised, in order to show His great power. But they quickly forgot what He had done and acted without waiting for His advice. It's amazing how short their memory was. God sent 10 plagues on the Egyptians simply to save His people. But just days later, at the Red Sea, the children of Israel forgot about God's actions, shouting, "We are all going to die." They had forgotten what God had done for them. Then, miraculously, God parted the Red Sea, allowing them to cross on dry ground. But they forgot about it just a few days later when they believed they would die from thirst. Then, amazingly, God gave water in the desert, but they forgot about it just a few days later when they feared they were going to die of starvation. They kept forgetting what God had done for them. But we shouldn't pass judgment on them too quickly, because we do the exact same thing. When there is a delay in our lives, we begin to act as if God has never done anything for us. Has God ever done anything for you? He certainly has. And you can expect Him to do even more for you tomorrow, the next day, and the day after that. Instead of forgetting, keep God's promises in mind. The Bible contains about 7,000 of them. When you have a dilemma, remember a promise like Timothy 2:13. Even when we are too weak to have any faith left, He remains faithful to us and will help us, and He will always carry out His promises to us. God's promises are always greater than your worries. If God has not fulfilled a promise in your life, it is possible that He is waiting on you. He's waiting for you to learn not to fear, fret, faint, or forget. He wants to mold you before delivering you. God could do things immediately, but He has a greater plan in mind. The setbacks in your life do not slow down God's purpose. They fulfill God's purpose in your life.